So I'm back again. Today I have light. I said why not? When I don't have light, I don't come online, right? So do I try to be holy? I ask myself deeply. This is a question that I deeply, sincerely ask myself because for me, I'm always trying to introspect because it is genuinely important for me to always grow every time. There's something that someone called necessary preconditions for growth. They are events that no matter how you try to avoid making mistakes or avoid doing something that you rather not do, no matter how hard you avoid to be perfect, right? There are necessary preconditions for growth that would happen to you because it is in that mistake, right? That ugly experience, that experience that was shameful for you, that is where you learnt the lesson that you can never forget. Now, the lesson should not be something that triggers hurt, because if it triggers hurt, it means that you have not learned from it. Anything that triggers a feeling that doesn't feel good means that you need to heal from this. So, for me, not feeling good are mostly indicators of where I would where I would work on, places that I see I need to grow better at. Because not feeling good, right, is saying that there's something worthy for me not to feel good. There's something that is more worthy than my feeling good. That is what not feeling good implies. And because this is not what I mean to say, I'm not trying to say there's something more worthy than feeling good, right? So in that case, I think deeply on anything that doesn't feel good to me. What makes it make sense that I would not feel good? I need a pen to write, for an example, and my friend's pen is on the table. And naturally, I should ask my friend before I use the pen, can you give me your pen to write? And I urgently need to write something. Do I need to wait and miss out on what I need to write to use the pen? That's the question. If I carry the pen and I start using it and as I'm writing, my friend comes and like is using my pen. My friend, if it is my friend or just whatever relationship or ship it is, right? What brings us together will be expressed in their reaction to me using that pen. It is not saying that it is justified that I didn't ask, mind you. It's just at that point of me using the pen, right? I needed to bring out the truth of the friendship without even intentionally doing. Because the truth is, your consciousness is always about you, not the next person beside you. It is not conscious about anybody but you. That is why your universe is made up of only the words that are uttered from your mouth, not the words that are uttered from anybody else. That is why your inner child, right, wants to hear the words that you utter. Our inner child is that our soul that never grows old. It is ageless, it is timeless. It was always existing before existence started. So there is nothing that makes it grow. It can't grow. That's why we come as default. We come as the default of our soul every time as a baby. And we don't really understand that. It is because our soul is a baby that never grows. That is why we come as the default. But just because it is in the form of an infant, right, does not make it less intelligent because it is love and it is infinite intelligence. That's why Kubi, the angel that carries the arrow, is actually a baby. It is trying to tell you that it is always young, it is always ageless, it doesn't grow old. And so if you watch that boss baby where they're trying to use cartoon to explain that in heaven they are all babies, right? It makes more sense when I watched that too. Like I felt this came from a vision of someone that has some kind of spiritual gift, right? Whether you're a spirit born or an acquired. Yeah, see, spiritual gifts are gotten different ways. You can trigger a spiritual gift in your DNA. That happens when a particular event that is probably under this necessary precondition of for growth. I call them necessary precondition of for growth. They are events that must happen, right, for you to grow. The spiritual gift can be triggered through a necessary precondition for growth, such event, or it can be grown out of the desire to express such gift. Because when you would be someone that would use the gift positively, right? Instead of giving someone that would use the gift wrongly, the gift will be transferred to you. That is why you can learn a gift. There's ability for transfer of gifts to happen. That is happening only because the person that would use the gift that is born with it, right? For those that are born with gifts, instead of using the gift, right, for good, they are trying to use it negatively. That is why when you try to oppress people, the gift that you have that makes it possible will be stripped of you. This is why never try to place yourself above anybody because it is what you do when you use your gifts negatively to oppress people. You are trying to place yourself above God who exists within, which is impossible. It is like saying you can fight God who exists within when God is you experiencing life through you. You're just a tool for God. So this would talk this conversation, right, will take me to where I need to express those that pay for their spiritual gifts, either end or birth. You would hardly find people that are born with gifts wanting to pay for their spiritual gifts because they have this spiritual backing understanding with it. The gift comes with, you know, it's come with its own, it comes with its own, lessons. For who to whom much is given, much is expected, right? So there's this training of how your gift will grow, what would make your gift grow. So you'll be given like certain conditions, right? Necessary preconditions that would make you grow. And the conditions might not seem like they are nice at first when you are not seeing why you are facing different things is because you are gifted in different ways. Most times that happens because the gift, right, is just an intentional tool. Like the divine wants this particular consciousness to use to have a tool that it wants to use through it. That is how it is. It's like an inbuilt tool. more or less, right? An inbuilt tool in an inbuilt tool. An inbuilt tool in a built tool, right? You can call it that way. Because don't be caught up in the mire of the half truths. We are inside, okay, we're not inside the tool, so it can't be called an inbuilt tool. Yeah, very true. So I created myself there, right? And I hope I was audible enough. I'm trying to be more audible because I found out my last video was not so audible and it sounds like I'm raising my voice. It's also training me to talk at a high pitch at the same time, not spiral into anything negative because my ADHD is like a fire when I'm trying to connect, like when I'm struggling to connect, it feels like intensity, like I'm angry. I'm not angry, I'm just really struggling to connect. And this is something I just recently learned about myself, right? So it is part of why I can be more calmer because I've learned this and it makes me learning that this is something that is part of me wants me to see ways of how to be better at expressing myself. Because for me, growing and becoming better is very essential to me. I always want to do better than I did yesterday. This is why today is my fresh start. This is my new history. I just started growing. Right? I just started growing and today is my day one. And every day is the same. I just started growing. So I can grow into infinite possibilities because every day I just started growing, right? And I don't have gym access now, so I can't imagine how I would look if I had a gym and I can access it anytime. And it is my personal gym, right? It's something that I don't need to pay transport to go and access. Something that is always with me. I would always work out as my natural self because I'm just someone that likes to express energy and it keeps me active. It keeps me someone that even if I'm sleeping, you call my name, I jump up. I'm not feeling my dream was interrupted or sometimes my dream gets interrupted, but I'm not so attached to sleeping. But I noticed that I wake up when I like the dream has a way of making sure that I get the whole story before I wake up. I don't know if you have ever experienced that. Like the dream ends up giving you the accurate details or you end up spending the right amount of time you're supposed to be in that dream to learn the lesson that is needed of you. Because I've seen myself acting different acts of love, like doing a lot of, learning process of seeing people differently. And it's because of my perception, how I perceive the world, that has opened me to someone that welcome every perception or perspective, as I wanted to say, right? And the perspective, I don't welcome every perspective and turn it into my own because the truth is my own perspective comes from what keeps flowing through me. So it is almost like I can't stop my perspective from being my perspective. Even if I'm getting data right now, what keeps flowing through me would counterbalance every or counter any belief that doesn't sit well with it. that is how I can be hyper focused on source itself directly. So I was created intentionally for that kind of hyper focused because as a child, right, especially as a teenager, I had this obsession. I don't know what to call it. If it's not an obsession, right? I was crazy about a particular girl as a teenager, and I prayed to God to take it away from my heart because I didn't like the discomfort of feeling it was giving me. I can I can actually deal with physical pain because I was brought up like that, like they beat the shit out of you know, I'm just one of those kids that they beat the crap, living crap. Like there's nothing violent, physical that can scare me, right? Because so working out, I don't see anything like I'm scared to push. I'm always excited to push to my extra because I've seen a lot. So I use that, I transfer that into working out energy, right? It's not like I'm living hot. I'm not using hot to work out. I'm using the excitement of how far can I go? How much more can I do? How what can I take? Right? Like how much more can I go myself? And I'm just looking at myself, right? So I'm using ADHD, and ADHD it makes you lost in time. You don't even know how many you have done, or if you have done. You're not counting. You're just working out because you express ADHD fire, right? So I was literally beating like crap going on. Like they'll be beating you and you'll be hearing like the carpenter is doing woodwork. That's the kind of beating they beat me. So I was used to physical pain. So emotional pain was something I have never experienced. I'm laughing now because it's funny that I had such an obsession that I was praying to God. Like me and God were like, God, I'll just be like, God, is there a way that I can hypnotize this child just to love me? Because I badly wanted her to love me, like to feel good because of me, right? And I saw that it's impossible. Like now it makes sense why it was so stupid, why I didn't care to understand that. You can't make anybody love you. It's either they love you or they don't. And if they love you, it's different. So this is my obsession, right? I was like, love me, love me, love me, love me. I was even ready to take like beating just to gain the love. I didn't mind trying to collect the stroke of king for her because like they're fusing us inside the same class, right? My parents trying to bring out a version of me that can never exist just to please society. So I was wondering in that period, like me and God had deep conversations because God had to explain to me why free will, why her free will, right? Why her feeling good is important, genuinely, why it can't be, but it can't be. And she's not someone you can buy her free will anyway, right? So God had to explain to me. I wasn't. I don't think I loved anyone that they could buy their love because if I ever loved someone like that, to feel like so fake, right? I was looking for something for eternity always. So there's no way I could love someone that their love was bought easily, or they didn't have they didn't have standards of what felt good to them. Because it was very important to me that you know what you want. right? Somehow. So most times, no, I'm not saying that. There's sometimes where people pretended to be that kind of a person just to get me, attached. And it wasn't that I fell for it. I scrutinized everything. I later, I took, it's just that I take my time to scrutinize. I don't just jump at it. I take my time to understand because understanding is very important to me. So when I see that, okay, this is not what I'm looking for, I'm irritated. Once it's not what I'm looking for, I'm easily irritated. That is why it is very important to me to be with someone that would not irritate me, right? Because I'm easily someone that can be irritated by anything that is a conditioned love. I don't know how other people can not be irritated, but for me, I'm highly, eh, like, don't come near me. You might be thinking that it makes sense to you, but I'm trying to run away from you with my two shoes on top of my head like this. because, because that's just who I am. And so when I saw that free will was very important, I could see why there's nothing that can be placed above love. Because free will must feel good to be free will. And if she's not feeling good, it means I don't have a free will. And eventually I will not, I'll get tired of wanting something that doesn't feel good to me because when she's not feeling good, I can't be feeling good. And I could see that in that relationship. Like I already took the relationship in three different dimensions. I was talking to God like someone that would see the past, present, and future. But this time around, I can see different parts of different choices. Like if I take this choice, what would this turn into? What will be the outcome if I take this choice? So it was like seeing myself in all three different choices as three different people, right? That's how it was. So I was seeing myself in every possible choice I would have used to keep her with me because I love her, right? That's the idea. So if I was going to do that, it means that she was not going to be happy. At the end of every choice I took, I turned, I took 360-degree round, and in everything I choose, sorry, there's no light. So in everything I choose to implement that would make sense, every option I choose, as long as her free will was not there, right? I couldn't make it happen. God explained deeply to me how that was just me not caring to understand. Free will is love. And so I can tell you that there's nothing more important than having free will. Free will would always be a value. It feels good for someone to unite with you. It is always valuable. And so because I believe I lived that, it wasn't just one day I did that scenario of looking at different options of what choices I would have made to make her stay with me, right? I saw that even at the last option of just trying to be anybody that she likes, right? It wouldn't even feel good to me to continue. It would feel irritating after some point because I would keep trying to be that person just to make her happy. And after seeing all that and living it for years, because it took me more than 6 years to get over her. Like she deserves an award. She seriously does. Like her quietness. It's not like she's trying to be quiet just to impress somebody. She's not. She doesn't care. But she's just naturally someone that is quiet, right? And that is peaceful, right? That is one thing I think is why I would like her. I'm not attached to her anymore, honestly speaking. There's no attachment. But it was an experience that I had to face genuinely to understand why I would not be attached to her genuinely. Why she's not even worthy of my taking a king for her or anything. Because her feeling good was opposite to my feeling good. She didn't feel good when I called her. Just calling, right? Because every time I call, I'm always excited and I'm like happy to hear her voice. And she thought I was mocking her. Like she thought why I was excited was because I was mocking her when I call her. Like I'm laughing at her. And I know it was a projection because I know the state at which she was then. But the fact that she was projecting the fact that she didn't see herself valuable the way I saw her, how important she was to me. And I tried to tell her how much important she was to me, but it wasn't really about her being important to me. It was about the fact that there was no connection between her and myself, and I was trying to create a connection. This is why I'm not even at all interested to create any connection with anyone. If it is not your free will, I'm not interested. If you don't feel good being around me, I am not trying to force you to come online and watch my video. Before it made sense to share so that people come and see. But now it doesn't make any sense. If you would feel good being someone that would watch my video, right? It's it is only when it is important. If not, because at the end of the day, I just want you to feel good anyway. Because when you feel good, it increases the love that is going on in all of existence, right? And that is what is precious to me. So I am not interested to make you less feeling good. So if your watching my video doesn't make you feel good, I don't want you to watch my videos. It's that simple. Like life is so simple that it is not worth stressing it over something that doesn't need to make any sense. Like nothing is worthy of you not feeling good. Not even my video. Do you even understand it? Because once something becomes more important than your feeling good, it is trying to put something above love. And love is the highest level of feeling good. Why should anything reduce that feeling good? That is how genuine I am. And it's free to live lightweight because my heart is so free and empty. Like it's I sleep without worrying about anything because I know that I exist within love and love is all there is. And love is the highest level of feeling good. Love is abundance. Love is everything. Love used itself to bet all that can exist. So why shouldn't I feel good when I'm love? So as much as it doesn't make sense to anyone but me, right? I can't stop myself from not understanding what keeps screaming into my ears. This is why I would say I am possessed by source itself. Because source itself is love, and the will of love, right, is to feel good. So thank you very much.